So, today on Week Therefore Strong, it's just me, Supermom. My kids are all upstairs playing video games, and I've been thinking about making a video about my most recent blog. It's called You Just Prayed for All of Me. And so recently, Zoe and I went to the grocery store, and we were just doing our thing. So I'm pushing Zoe around, and she's sitting in the buggy part of the cart where a toddler would sit, and she's about the size of a 4-year-old. And I brought preschool prep books with me, and so when we go to the store, we try to do school, and so I'll show her a color, and then we'll find the color, and then I'll show her a number, and we'll find the number, and we'll do that, and then she'll try to reach to the back of the cart and try to grab something to open it and eat it. And then I always say that, no, we can't open food in the store because you know how messy Mom is. I'm going to spill it everywhere, as a joke. And then she covers her ears and screams. And then I sing a cool song like Ring Around the Rosies or any other preschool type of song because she loves music. And that stops her from crying. So we're walking along in the grocery store doing this throughout the store, and then we're in the produce section, and this older woman runs up to us and gets like right in front of me and says, "Do you believe in God?" And I'm like, "Yes. I mean, I'm a Christian. I believe in God." And she said, "Do you believe in the power of prayer for healing?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I get kind of anxious. Because we'd actually just gone through this with a friend when we were at the zoo. Someone had prayed for her daughter who actually has no eyes to get her eyes back so that she can see. And I felt like that was an appropriate prayer. And so I was kind of like scared that something crazy was going to happen. And also the fact that she didn't even acknowledge Zoe at all. Like, didn't look at her, didn't say like, "Oh, what a beautiful little girl," or, "Oh, I see how she's struggling. You know, she's struggling in the store. Can I help you? Can I help cheer her up?" Or nothing like that. Just straight into the power of prayer for healing. So, guess what she was trying to heal? Her autism. That's all it was. She wasn't looking to heal some kind of ailment that Zoe had, because there's nothing visibly wrong with Zoe unless you look at her behavior. She was trying to heal who she is. She was trying to heal all of this, like in How to Train a Dragon, where Hiccup and Stoic are having a conversation, and Stoic is saying that Hiccup has to walk like this and talk like this and think like a certain way to be a Viking, and then gestures at Hiccup, and he's like, "You just gesture to all of me. Like, how can you just pray for who a person is?" So that brought about me talking with my dad, who's an awesome pastor, and we talked about prayer etiquette and came up with some ideas on what are good tips for if you are out and about and someone approaches you and wants to pray for you, you can actually intervene right then. Not doing what I did. What I did was, when the woman asked me if I believed in the power of healing, I said yes, but Zoe's already been healed, and she actually has. I mean, she used to only be tube-fed for about a year because she had some severe swallowing problems, and now she's able to eat some things by mouth, but she still needs her feeding tube for liquids. And she's also, reading words, and we didn't think she would ever be able to read or do anything functional with her brain. We were told that, it was a pretty bad situation because of her autism and cerebral palsy and 2 genetic syndromes that cause developmental disabilities. And here she is. She can read whole word approach, sight words. It's amazing. And we're working on phonics. So anyway, I told her all these healing things. And then she said, looked a little puzzled. And then she said, "Oh, well, I'm so glad that you've already experienced healing," and gave me a hug. And I was like this, why is this woman hugging me? Because, I kind of have like a bubble, got a little sensory issues, and I don't really like people touching me too much, especially strangers. I'm like, ugh, she just touched me. She just touched all of me. So anyway, Zoe, meanwhile, this lady's talking, here's the word prayer. And when we're at home and we pray for Zoe, we always pray for her being sick. And so Zoe's over there making like vomit sounds like and holding her throat. And I'm like, now I go, you know what? You need to watch your words. That's what I said to the lady. You need to watch your words because now my daughter thinks she's sick and she's not sick. She's just Zoe. She's Zoe being Zoe. That's her personality. So that's how it went down. And I really wish it would have went down like this. I really wish I had stopped her when she said, "Do you believe in God?" And here I'm going to read some of the tips for those people who aren't really readers. Because, sometimes we're too busy as moms, especially any mom who has a child with autism. We're like super busy. So I would say, wait. I know you want to pray for my daughter, but I really need you to only pray for specific things. I am a Christian, and these are the things that we need prayer for right now. Instead of watch your words. I just wanted to put a big old foot in my mouth. So here are the other tips, though. If you are a person who wants to pray for someone who has autism in public, this is what you can do. Or any other disability. If you want to go up to someone in public that you do not know and pray for them, here's some tips. First, you should address the person you want to pray for directly. If it's a child and they are with a parent, talk to both of them in conversation. And don't get caught praying for all of this. You can't fix all of a person unless they want to be fixed. And then don't immediately pray for them. Don't go up like this one woman did and say, "I'm going to pray for you." Instead, try to get to know that person just a little bit. If you're going to take the time to pray for them, you can take the time to have a conversation with them. And then you can also ask that person if they feel comfortable telling them about the disability. Like if someone said, "Do you feel comfortable telling me about what your daughter has?" I could say, "No, she really doesn't like being talked about." Or I could briefly explain what's going on with Zoe. And then the third thing that you can do is you can ask them specifically. Like you could come up to me specifically and say, after we had a brief conversation, you could say, "Do you have any prayer needs?" Or you could say, "I'm a Christian. Is there something that specific that I can pray for about for you?" Man, I can't talk. Sorry about that. And then you really don't want to offer complete healing unless the person requests it. Because if you offer a prayer of complete healing to someone who is a non-believer and God is saying, no, they don't get complete healing, then you've just lost them. Not just like lost them as being a Christian at your church. You've lost them possibly forever and ruined their chance of becoming a Christian and being able to go to heaven. And that's something serious. And then if you pray for healing without asking for a person who's actually a Christian already, then they have feelings of self-doubt about their own faith. Well, why are my prayers not going to work? Right? Why are my prayers not going to work and yours are? That's not fair. So I wouldn't offer prayer for complete healing for another reason too, because the Bible actually says that each one of us is knitted in our mother's womb by God. He creates our inner being, our DNA. He knew Zoe's DNA was missing 7.29 megabase. He knew that. He knew that she had a POG-Z mutation. He knew that. She was knitted that way. She has a purpose. And then finally, you should consider praying for that person with a disability from afar, because God knows what they need. You can just say, "Hey, that girl with sparkly sneakers and pink glasses who's covering her ears and screaming at her mother because she won't open that box of candy." Actually, it's fruit snacks that are like Annie's organic fruit snacks, but Zoe thinks they're candy. That girl right there who's screaming about those fruit snacks, God, please grant them whatever their needs are. And surely our God is gracious enough to do just that. It doesn't require a public prayer. It can, if the family wishes it. I mean, I wouldn't mind people seeing me being prayed over or my daughter being prayed over if it had just been approached a little bit better. Just with a little more class, instead of just being kind of like, there's something wrong with your kid. Your kid needs to be healed. So, anyway, it's kind of a controversial topic, and it makes me feel like a mean Christian, that I'm not really into having someone just abruptly drop everything and run across to me in a grocery store and just got to pray for all of this. So after all that happened, I went to the checkout lane, and I chose my favorite checkout lane at our local grocery store, because the mom has a child who has autism who's 14, and we're able to talk about stuff, and she recognizes the behaviors in Zoe. It makes my life just like a little bit easier. But I went to her line specifically because I needed some comfort. And she had actually seen that the next line over had less people and said, you can go to that other line. And I was like, do I have to? Can I come to your line today? And then she realized something happened, and I told her, and she felt that lady probably meant well, just like I should have thought, instead of being like, watch your words. She felt like she meant well, but just didn't have any tact. And so Zoe's by then completely done with shopping because she knows we're leaving, and she freaks out at transition points. Not that she doesn't like shopping, she loves it, but when we leave, it's like, ah! So the grocery bagger and then the lady whose line had no one in it came over, and they read books to Zoe, and they helped Zoe put groceries in the bags, and that just lit her up, and she was so happy. And at that very moment, I thought, these people right here could say, so Zoe, is there anything that we can pray for? Do you have any prayer requests? And Zoe would have done this. And I would have interpreted, and I would have said, Zoe says that she wants to thank God for healing her swallow enough so that she can eat food and drink honey-thick liquids. But she would like to someday drink thin liquids. Please pray for her so that she can drink thin liquids. Help her swallow to heal. And then you never know. I might even say, can you guys pray for all of this? But not likely, because Zoe's my Zoe, and I like the way she is. I would never take her personality away from her. And part of her personality is definitely autism. And part of her personality is definitely 2q23.1 microdeletion syndrome. And part of who she is definitely POG-Z mutation or White-Sutton syndrome. These are part of Zoe. So you don't have to pray for all of her. But you can ask me what to pray for, because I believe in the power of healing. Because when there is weakness, God provides strength. Happy Autism Awareness Month. Don't forget to seek out someone who has autism, or a family member or a friend whose child has autism, and give them a hug if they want one. Personal space. Don't forget to, Zoe's not here, like and share and subscribe to our channel. Bye.